got some good news for you Seattle Seahawks fans. The Seattle Seahawks are extended wide receiver Tyler Lockett to a 4-year deal, and it is worth $69.2 million. He signed a 3-year extension back in 2018, and as a result, he is earning $37 million guaranteed. This was first reported by Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. So, Amar, you go first. What do you think of the Seahawks inking Tyler Lockett for another 4 years?
Yeah, well, first, congratulations to Tyler Lockett and congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, when you look at Tyler Lockett, I feel like he was definitely like a re-signing need. You look at Tyler Lockett and you look at like DK Metcalf. I feel like that duo is a very good duo, and I feel like you need to keep them together for as long as you could. Because again, Russell Wilson has explained how like he isn't like fully happy with the situation that he is in with Seattle, or he feels like things need to be changed, and so keeping Tyler Lockett and keeping DK Metcalf, I feel like that is something that would make Russell Wilson happy. Now, obviously, the rumors about Antonio Brown, like the Seahawks and Antonio Brown, obviously those are coming together, like whether Antonio Brown will join the Seahawks or not. And then you also got the rumors whether Antonio Brown is going to resign with the Bucks or not. Like it's too hard to tell right now. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, re-signing Tyler Lockett, it kind of minimizes, it kind of like lessens those chances of Antonio Brown joining, which is okay because as long as you like, because Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, the reason why the Seahawks were struggling, that I don't think it was because of them. I don't think it was because of DK and Tyler Lockett. I think it was because the offensive line just didn't give enough time for Russell Wilson to make the plays. He had to run around a lot. He had to improvise in order for people to get open. And so I with that, Russell Wilson was getting upset. So I think the biggest thing for them right now is, especially when it comes to the draft, is get an offensive line that can protect Russell Wilson. Because I feel like as long as you can get an offensive line that can protect Russell Wilson, and not only that, can also help with the run game. You got Chris Carson, who's a very good running back. You got Russell Wilson, who's happy. He's getting protected. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are absolutely ridiculous. You know, um, the defense they gotta strengthen up as well. So the defense strengthens up, which the defense might be the biggest problem for them this year. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be real, Nate. The defense I think for the Seattle Seahawks will be the biggest problem after losing Griffin, not Shaq Barrett. After losing Shaq Griffin, you're gonna need to find a new cornerback to replace that spot. And it's gonna be very very hard because Shaq Griffin did a very good job in Seattle, but
They can
that's
even
probably
draft
gonna
one.
be the big what.
They can draft someone too.
Yeah, right. Obviously, the draft. Personally, I take most of the draft to focus on the offensive lineman. Would I grab a corner? Yeah, absolutely. But I think the defense is going to be the biggest problem for them this year. Obviously, re-signing Tyler Lockett and re-signing DK Metcalf. Well, not re-signing DK Metcalf because DK Metcalf's still on his rookie contract. But keeping those two together I think, is a must in Seattle. You know, DK Metcalf, I think, honestly, is a once in a generation wide receiver. To be honest with you, just the way he's built. 6'4", 238 of muscle. You look at Tyler Lockett, he's a very good wide receiver himself. So keeping those two together, I feel like is the most important thing for Seattle. And Tyler Lockett, to be honest, he had a very good season last year. I'm gonna look up his stats right now. Um, but Tyler Lockett had a very good season. He averaged last year, he had 1,054 yards. He averaged 10.5 yards per catch. His longest catch was 47 yards, and he had 10 TDs with 100 receptions. So he had a pretty good year, Nate. Uh, Obviously, I think he was a very reliable wide receiver. Obviously, there were games where like he would go off and DK wouldn't, and obviously there were games where DK would go off and he wouldn't. And that's the best thing about having a complimentary wide receiver, is that if one somehow doesn't have the game they're supposed to have, the other one can pick it up, and that's what they were doing. Now, if both of them can end up going on rolls through every single game, that's a very dangerous Seattle Seahawks offense. And not that they're not dangerous now, but that just makes them even more dangerous. Um, but yeah, I mean, with that being said, Nate, um, I do wish Tyler Lockett the best of luck. Again, congratulations to him on staying with the Seattle Seahawks and receiving that type of money. I feel like that money should go to big time wide receivers, which Tyler Lockett is. And I'm curious to see how the Seattle Seahawks are going to be this season.
Yeah. Best of luck to Tyler Lockett. Congratulations to him and the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Mario, and I think the Seahawks are addressing Russell Wilson's unhappiness with the team, the situation. Now at this point, you got your wide receivers. You got DK Metcalf. You re-signed Tyler Lockett now. Um, Now what you gotta do? Oh, you re-signed Chris Carlson. I think they did that, did they?
Chris Carson, yeah.
Yeah, they re-signed him. So you got that. Now you gotta get Russell Wilson some protection.
Right.
Then you gotta give him a defense. I gotta be honest, that was one of the worst defenses in the league last year.
Yeah, it was shocking though because paper wise it looked good.
Yeah, but it just didn't
You know?
perform the way it should have.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta be careful for. You gotta you just gotta make sure you execute game plan perfectly. And obviously that wasn't the case. Now you can either keep these assets and not screw up your game plan, or you go out there and get better players. Now, I mean,
Right.
personally, they're probably going to do both, and they need and especially addressing Russell Wilson's unhappiness with the team. You got to do whatever it takes to keep this guy in town. Because once he leaves, you're probably never. It's going to be very, very difficult to try and replace Russell Wilson.
Absolutely.
I know Russell Wilson's hitting age at this point. He's in his early 30s. He doesn't play like it. He's still a very elite. He's still an elite quarterback. Still a top 10 quarterback in the league, whether you like it or not. So him going into another town just guarantees them more success. You got to keep this guy in town. I know. There was a lot of rumors the Dallas Cowboys were going to pick him up. I know the Chicago Bears were in those rumors. Who else? There was a couple of other teams. The Raiders were going to pick him up. And the Saints too. The Saints were in that conversation. It's not now Drew Brees retired. They need a quarterback as well. So now you got your wide receivers. You got your running back. Give Chef Russ some protection and give this team a defense. Because they have the coaching. They have the coaching. The offense is good when it's clicking on all four cylinders. Very, very elite offense. You've seen how this offense has played out many, many times. Offensive line lacks though. Defense lacks. Yeah, you gotta get those. And as soon as you get those, keep like I said with the Padres. As soon as you get all your assets, like I said with the San Diego Padres, do not let your foot off the gas. Because if you let your foot off the gas and you let your guard down for 1 second, Russ is gonna leave. He's gonna leave. He's gonna go in a city, and it's gonna be very, very difficult to replace Russell Wilson. So with that being said, keeping Tyler Lockett, I think it's the right step in the right direction, and I applaud the Seahawks for that. As for the Antonio Brown rumors, if those are true, we will talk about it if it does become a reality. But as of right now, they're just rumors, so don't take our word for it. Anything can happen at any given moment. Like I remember the J.J. Watt rumors. There was a most rumors were pointing at the Browns. He ended up going to the Cardinals. There's a Sean Watson kid. Sean Watson. A lot of people said the Carolina Panthers are front line, and they still are. But then he got busted with his case. You can't take these rumors with a grain of salt. Well, actually, no, I lied. You have to take these rumors with a grain of salt because you just never know. You know what I mean? So don't take our word for it. I just want to put that out there. So with that being said, best of luck to Tyler Lockett in Seattle. Good luck to the Seattle Seahawks this next season. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.